Hi, everyone, and welcome to Divine Resolution Tarot. For those of you who are new, my name is Chanel. For those of you who are returning, thank you so much for giving me the opportunity to read for all of you again. If you're in need of a personal reading, I'm doing a sale on 1 and 2 question readings. The link is in the description box. Also, your air sign twin flame reading is out, and I will link that below too. So Gemini, or anyone watching for Gemini, just reverse the roles. Let's take a look at what's been going on with you and kind of where you're at in regards to your love life. So it feels like you're exploring your options. You got betrayal at the bottom of the deck, forgiveness and attraction. I feel as though you've changed your mind. It seems to me that there was one person that you probably thought was your divine counterpart or was going to be your person for what looks like the rest of your life. This is making me feel like there was not enough communication in this situation. So as I'm looking into the energy of your love life, it feels like this is almost some sort of epiphany that there's more fish in the sea, or that there's other partners out there. It's like you had a massive change in direction. Now, for some of you, you could have been dealing with somebody who is either committed elsewhere or behaved as though they were committed elsewhere, even if they were single, because this is the energy of, it's like you can't change what anyone around you is doing, but you started to try to get to the bottom of why you felt like this just had to be the person that you spend your life with, is what I'm seeing here. Because it's almost like you looking at the situation and starting to feel like the person you've been dealing with is either not available or they're just not wanting a relationship. I feel like, though, there's a third energy here on your person's end. And so for you, this is like, okay, what if I'm the third party here? What if I'm the person on the outside looking in? Like, as much as I feel what I feel, as much as I feel this is my person, what if this just is not meant to be, right? What if I remove myself from the situation? Would the two people, would my person and whoever this other energy is reconcile? Would they have a good life? You know, it's kind of the energy of like you having this 180 where you always thought like this is who I'm supposed to be with. But based on the way that this person has shown up in this relationship, because it feels like they're putting everything over you or someone over you, everyone over you. For those of you who are a person single, maybe they just date a bunch or they're still hung up on an ex. For those of you who your person is with someone, they haven't left. You know, they're not leaving that person. So I feel like for you, it's like, okay, well, I've been treating this other energy like they're the third party. I'm starting to feel like maybe I'm the third party. Maybe I'm the only one that felt what I felt because of the way that this person is showing up for me, right? Versus the way they're showing up for everyone else. So kind of interesting because I feel like you took a step back to examine your own beliefs, right? Like maybe you've always believed you had a soulmate, or maybe you believed you had a twin flame and then you met this person and it was like, oh my gosh, I finally feel my heart chakra opening. I feel like this is meant to be. Whereas this person didn't seem to see the importance of the connection. And because of that, I feel like you were trying really hard to get this person to have that same epiphany. But now it's almost like rather than trying to get this person to see your point of view or make you a priority, you're more trying to figure out like why you felt so drawn to this situation rather than looking at it in the 3D. Because I feel like if this would have been anybody else, you would have given up on this a long time ago, or you would have had the attitude of like, this situation is a mess and I'm not putting myself in this. Do you get what I'm saying? So I feel like you're trying more to get to the bottom of like what's going on with you, why you felt so drawn to this person. I also feel like you're leaving this person to whatever is important to them. You know, whatever they've done or been doing that felt like was so much more of a priority than building something with you. You're not allowing this person to go back and forth is what I'm feeling like. The hard part, I feel like right now, is that if you're trying to date with this Three of Pentacles in the reverse, it's almost like you're still carrying the energy of this person with you. It doesn't also feel like you have anything to show for the last few years or months or time you spent with this person. So it's kind of coming through to me that you're very on the fence about whether or not you want a relationship to replace this one. It feels like initially when this person came into your life and you started feeling all these things, and it was like, oh my gosh, I realized I really actually do want to be with someone. This is who I want to be with. And then it seemed like they wanted to do other things. The attitude was like, okay, well, now that I know that I'm capable of loving to this capacity, I want someone that's going to show up for me, right? And I feel like that's what caused such a struggle between the two of you, is this person just, they weren't showing up, right? Maybe they were ghosting with that Knight of Swords in the reverse. Maybe after a period of not speaking to this person, you see that they're just like online or on social media posting pictures of them and other people, right? So there's an energy of like, initially, I feel like you wanted this person. Then I feel like you wanted someone. Like, okay, well, who is my match? Now it feels like you're revisiting kind of this situation because it's like, okay, maybe the takeaway wasn't that I want to be in a relationship. Maybe the takeaway here is something else. And I'm not exactly sure what that is, right? So I feel like if you are dating, you're probably going to stop for the time being because you're realizing that that's not what you need, right? I feel like the difficulty here is that you can't go back to being the person that you used to be before you had this experience. And I kind of feel like you haven't found a way to internalize what this relationship means to you as far as how you're going to move forward, right? Like, what was the purpose of this? Because that's a huge question I'm seeing here. It's like, okay, what was the point? What was the point of me throwing down my walls, accepting this person into my life, being so incredibly vulnerable for somebody, right? That it feels like I'm always on the brink of humiliation every time I allow them back into my life, right? So I kind of feel like you're coming to the realization that being with someone was not the takeaway in this situation, because I feel like you tried to maybe tell yourself like, well, hey, you know, on the bright side, I guess I didn't know I was open to love, you know, or I guess I didn't know that I actually am missing this in my life and that I wanted a relationship. Now you're coming to the realization that it's like, okay, that wasn't the takeaway here, right? The takeaway must be something else, because dating other people is not fulfilling, right? It's not making me feel like I have something to show for everything I went through with whoever this was, right? Like, say you're in a really rocky situation, then you meet the love of your life, and it's like, okay, well, everything I went through was to get to this point, and now it all makes sense, right? That still hasn't happened for you yet. So for some of you, I feel like you're kind of sad, right? Because it's like, okay, well, then if the takeaway wasn't that I want a relationship or not to settle in a bad relationship, what exactly was the purpose of this, right? Because I don't feel any closer to having success within my romantic life than where I started, right? I feel like because that's kind of a feeling that is heavy. It's not something that you're just like, oh, well, no big deal. This has got you kind of at a crossroads, I feel like, because it's like, okay, so if I don't know exactly what the takeaway is, because it can go two ways. Either the takeaway is that I need to be more open to people and that I realize I want a relationship based on how badly this went or how much this person neglected my emotional needs. Or the takeaway is that I need to just put my walls up and never, ever let people in again and just do me for the rest of my life and realize that love is just not something that I'm supposed to be a part of in this lifetime. You get what I mean? So you're kind of at this crossroads, and I feel like you're leaning more towards putting your walls up and not allowing people into your life. kind of coming from a place like, you know what, I've been there, I've done that. I didn't see anything different than what I've always seen. And I don't care if I keep doing this. Like, I'm tired. I'm not open right now for love. And for some of you, this is something that you're like thinking about this for the long term of like, you know what? I tried it once or twice and I'm just never going to do this again, right? So you're at kind of a weird crossroads in your life because I feel like as soon as you decide on one thing, you very quickly facilitate to the other. You know, as soon as you're like, I'm going to be open, I'm going to try to date, maybe you're attracting people that you are just like, you've got to be kidding me, right? I feel like you're attracting a lot of people who are still attached to someone else, still in love with someone else. You know, maybe you're dating and people are talking about their ex for the first hour of your date. And it's like, bro, why did you bring your ex to this date? You're supposed to be getting to know me. Like, go be with your ex. It feels like you're kind of stuck in this weird place where it's like you could be alone or you could attract people that are all in love with someone else. You get what I mean? So it feels kind of exhausting right now. I can feel that you guys are kind of tired and contemplating giving up. As I'm looking into February, I feel like there's going to be a change. Oh, well, there we go. That's why. I feel like, what is it Sherlock Holmes would always say? The game's afoot. This has been like a boring period in your life lately, I feel like. Maybe you feel like you're watching everybody else be in love or you're watching everybody else have kids and plan their marriages for the spring. This is like the energy of game on being activated, okay? Because we have 5 of Cups reversed, we have the Empress, we have the 5 of Pentacles reversed. So what I feel like is whoever this other person was, when you left them to their own devices, like, you know what? I'm just walking away from this. You want to stay married? Stay married. You want to chase your ex? You have my blessing. There's trouble in paradise wherever that person is. I'm going to tell you that right now. And part of that is them coming to the realization that their life kind of sucks because I think they were able to hold on to whatever this is and not have to really make a decision to like exit the situation because they were able to suck your energy dry. Okay. And that's kind of a reoccurring theme that I've seen for you Geminis is it feels like you deal with somebody who's stuck in a really crummy relationship, but instead of them just leaving the relationship, they use you to be all the parts of their partner that their partner doesn't have. Okay. So please check out the twin flame for air signs because with this Empress energy, this could be a twin flame connection, but that will definitely shed light on what you're going through if you're a twin. Like if you've ever thought your person is a narcissist, it explains the whole everything this person's got going on with them. So I feel like when you did what you did, you made this person have to sit down and figure out, or at least feel some sort of discomfort because you are not there to just love them through whatever their problem is with their partner. It's kind of weird. It feels like this person has put you in a paternal or a maternal role where it's like they'll come to you and complain about their partner like they would their mom, like to their mom or dad, like, and then you're just supposed to like give them all this unconditional love and fill them up. So I feel like what you've been sad about, that's going to come to an end in February because this energy is being reactivated where this person is not satisfied with where they are. Okay. Now, I don't feel like this person particularly knows what you have going on. You may know what this person is doing with that Knight of Swords in the reverse. You might have gotten wind of this person doing weird stuff, and that's why you just walked away from this to begin with, to avoid kind of a disaster that you knew would just be like embarrassing and piss you off. You may not have even explained to this person why you created that distance. I think it was just a very impulsive decision with the Knight of Swords in the reverse. But as I'm looking into February, this feels like you're going to be focusing on yourself, not because you've made the decision to be alone forever, but it's kind of more the energy of like, maybe I just don't need to worry about love right now, right? Maybe the takeaway was not to be more open or to be more closed off. Maybe the takeaway is just to love myself more, right? And establish a better relationship with me. So I feel like you're going to be focusing on that, but whoever this other person is suddenly also focusing on establishing a better relationship with you because they're not happy where they are. Okay. It's really just that simple. They use you to make their situation more bearable and to allow them to avoid having to literally do something different. Right. So I feel like you should probably stay the course as far as the self-love thing, because I feel like that's going to give you a much better perspective, like further down the line, of why this situation is going the way it's going. And I do feel like you will find your takeaway, right? Eventually you will look back and you'll be like, that's why this didn't work at that time. That's why I went through everything I went through. It was because I was looking for someone to love me when I needed to establish a better relationship with myself. And what I will say is what's cool about that is that when you do that and you start really being there for yourself and loving yourself, everything else in your life is going to change. Okay. This person was kind of the catalyst to that. I'm not sure what the distant future holds, like if there's marriage or what, because I didn't pull cards. But what I can say the takeaway from this was that it's almost like this person had to break you down to the point that you started rebuilding yourself by yourself because you're so appalled by other people, right? But then you're damaged and you don't feel comfortable looking for other people to validate you or help you rebuild yourself. So now you really have to like go within and do all the self-care and the shadow work and everything to get yourself right. Okay. That's kind of what the takeaway is that I'm seeing here. The hard part though is that I feel like you are looking like from an external standpoint rather than an internal one. But that's going to shift in February. You're going to be feeling great. Okay. I feel like you're going to be on top of the world. This other person, unfortunately, is feeling the loss of you. And I feel like this is somebody who is now wanting to figure out how they can reintegrate you back into their life because they're not comfortable where they are. Okay, so this game's energy is being reactivated where it's like, okay, it was really fun to run away when you were here because I thought it was a game. But now that you're not chasing me anymore, I need to come back closer and kind of show you like, hey, I'm still here. Don't you want me? So I'm going to take a look at the future energy to see what this will turn into, because I feel like this person is now very aware of your presence. And they're very aware of the discomfort they've been experiencing since you've left. So let's take a look at the opportunity, the obstacle, and the advice for this situation. But we're also going to look at some of the other stuff that'll happen to you as a result of the future actions and what this person is going to do about this discomfort, okay? So the link is in the description box, preview at the end of the video. Thank you so much for allowing me to read for you, and I will speak to all of you again soon. Bye. So Gemini, you're actually starting your spread off with the Knight of Swords in the upright, which is interesting because you started your spread in the public reading with the Knight of Swords in the reverse. So I see that there's going to be some clarity coming in for you. And for some of you, that's the clarity of like why everything has happened the way it's happened. For others of you, this is this person and they've been doing thinking about the future. They're starting to realize how much you did for them in the past. So let's see. King of Wands, you could be dealing with a fire sign. 7 of Swords, oh my goodness. 3 of Pentacles in the upright, which it was reversed before. So somebody is feeling very apologetic with this Seven of Swords in the reverse. I think this person has been doing a lot of thinking about the way that they treated you. This person is realizing that even though you were so disappointed with them and with this relationship at the time that you were with them, you still try to make this work, right? Whether this person was showing up for you or not,